Putting a dip in your hip, a glide in your stride. Welcome to the mothership, the home of the travelers of the universe, with shows throughout the week. Everything you want, everything you could need. From the paranormal to the supernatural, from the spiritual to the unknown, from emotions to comedy. You can find us at Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and so much more. This is R.I.F.T Nation Network, the RNN. And now, your featured show. Shall we begin?
That this podcast may contain material that some listeners may find sensitive, offensive, or disturbing. We strive to create respectful and informative content, but topics discussed may include mature themes such as violence, explicit language, or controversial subjects, triggering content including discussions related to mental health, trauma, or other sensitive issues. Explicit language, occasionally our guests or hosts may use strong language. While we aim to handle these topics with care and empathy, we encourage listeners to exercise discretion. If you find any content distressing, consider skipping or seeking support. Remember that this podcast is not a substitute for professional advice. If you need assistance, please consult a qualified expert. Good evening, everybody. Hello. Come on in, friends. Hi, Miss Linda. Hi, Miss Lee. Hello, Howie. How is everybody tonight? We are streaming live on the R.I.F.T Nation Network. I almost said it again, Howie. Mercury's in its shadow. I'm going back to the R.I.F.T Radio Network days. It almost slipped, but it didn't. But I said it anyway, so it did kind of slip out. I'm kind of out of it today. I'm going to blame it on the time change. I don't like the time change. I've been screwed up all day with it. But we are streaming live tonight, True Crime, Mysteries Beyond the Scenes on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and welcome everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please like, share, and subscribe. I hope everybody had a great weekend, and I hope everybody is getting used to this time change. Everybody, but I think Arizona doesn't do it. I think all states do the time change, but Arizona. None of us like it. None of us want it. So why do we do it? I don't know. I kind of like the summer being a little bit light out because usually I do the show when it's dark. Look, tonight you can see some birds out there. We have a lot of wildlife out there. We have deer, we have coyotes, we have, I don't know what, let's see, what else do we have? Wolves. And of course the squirrel. We have Biscuit. Biscuit is our little chipmunk. We have a little neighborhood chipmunk and we named him Biscuit. Biscuit is out there, so maybe I'll do a show outside in the summer. Well, welcome. Happy Monday. You know, this has been a wild, I guess last week started. We are in, because it's astrology, and you guys know that's what I live, eat, and breathe. We are in eclipse season. So if you feel a little, I don't know, scattered, maybe out there, just ride now until about April the 8th, because about a couple weeks after April the 8th, we've got a full moon eclipse March 24th, and then we go into the big one, April 8th. The big one is April 8th only because it's in Aries. Now, I can talk about Aries because I'm an Aries rising. So Aries are impulsive. It's let's go, let's do this. And then you think about it later and go, "Oh no, why did I not think?" So that's the impulsive one that's coming up. So the March 24th is going to be all about relationships with ourselves, with everybody else. The April 8th one's going to be a bang. So we'll keep our eyes out on that one. But tonight I have a special show. And as many of you know, we all follow true crime. It has been a bam, bam, bam true crime, one case after the next. And tonight is no different. Let me get all of this fixed. I hope everybody's doing okay tonight. The chat's a little quiet. You guys are awful quiet tonight. What's going on? It's the time change. I know. Here's Linda. Miss Linda's chatting. Here's Miss Linda. I'm good. Hope you all are too. Thank you, Miss Renee, for sharing us out. I talked to Keith earlier, so he'll probably be in. Happy Monday to you too, Lee. You know, tonight we talked about this. You're not always quiet, Linda. You chat. But I talked about this case, Madeline Soto, a little last week because it ran on the heels of baby Elijah. Now, baby Elijah is still missing, 3 years old, up in the Green Bay area. They have now extended up to Green Bay. That case has really kind of exploded a little bit. The mother is still incarcerated. We'll go through that next week a little bit. The searches are continuous on that one. Next week's show is another missing young man. His name is Sebastian in Tennessee. It's another case that we've been working on. Madeline Soto, unfortunately, went missing. Another young lady, 13 years old, stated she was walking to school, never showed up at school, but then we found out differently, and Madeline was indeed found Friday. So we'll go over her story next week. We'll catch up with little Sebastian. It's eclipse season. So what's funny is in eclipse season, it's the time that cold cases, people are found. So there were a couple of families last week that I had worked with, and their loved ones are being found. So during eclipse season, for my families that are out there, keep the faith, because this is the season that people get found during this time. Eclipse season is a season where everything just comes to light. Everything comes to light. We get rid of things. We have losses. We have new beginnings, but then again, we have losses as well. So we get through it, but it's every year. There's my buddy. And Keith and I did an impromptu show. I want to tell you guys this very quickly. We did an impromptu show on Saturday. It was off the cuff. We weren't going to do it, with my friend Sue, who is one of the best numerologists. If you missed that show, head over to the Otter's Den to see what Sue does with the numerology and numbers. She is phenomenal. And if you haven't gotten a reading with Sue, it's suenadu.com. I know it's on Keith's page. It was really an excellent show. We had a great time. And her friend Janet, who does herbal medicine and homeopathic medicine. I hope I said that right. Homeopathic with Reiki. Hi, Keith. Hey, got you shared out, but have limited reception for a bit. Okay. Why do you have limited reception? Oh, Keith, it was amazing. She is amazing. And I know Keith is a big numbers person. If you love numerology like Keith does, definitely check out that show, because anybody that likes numerology, she does it off the top of her head. So it's pretty cool, but you can watch her think. And that's how a Virgo, it's how a Virgo is. They just are very articulate. Their numbers, that's ruled by, guess who? Mercury, of course. Oh, Linda. It is fascinating, Linda. It was fascinating. I had to watch the replay. Very fascinating. So, welcome you guys, R.I.F.T Nation Network on Monday night, True Crime. Next week, I will be back. And then at 8 o'clock, we will have the Otter's Den. And that will be 6 days out of the eclipse. So, we'll go, I think we're going to do nations charts, like the United States chart, Israel's chart, some other charts that are hot spots in the world. I'll pull up Haiti. I'll pull up Haiti too. Keith got some news at the lake for a bit. Oh, well, that's a good place for you to go. That's a good place for you to go. You love the lake. So this story, I hope everything's okay. So this Madeline Soto story comes off of the heels of, we had little Audrey this year. We have just had in the true crime community very sad cases. They have all been involving little Elijah, a boyfriend, the mother's boyfriend. Audrey, it was a family friend who was Audrey's quote unquote caretaker, and now Madeline's case. If this is not the universe throwing lessons and things right at our faces, ladies, I don't know what else is. They're your children. I don't know what else to say with this kind of a case. It's that sad. So let's get started. First of all, we're going to do our True Crime Weekly update. Now, as you all know, the movie Rust, the gunnery was on trial for involuntary manslaughter last week, and that's the movie with Alec Baldwin. Now, what was interesting was the outcome of this case is probably what may happen to Alec Baldwin, who his trial is forthcoming. She was found guilty, 18 months involuntary manslaughter, and that's what she was indeed charged. So that was true crime this week with Rust, the trial. And it was an interesting trial. I'm not a big Hollywood person, so I'm not a big movie person. So I kind of was just watched the recaps on it. It had a lot of stuff about the Wild Wild West and how things are handled on movie sets. So if you find Hollywood interesting, you will have found this this trial interesting. If you all remember, we had the Harmony Montgomery case where she is still missing, where her father was found guilty. The stepmother was granted parole this week. Harmony Montgomery's stepmother was granted parole. And, let's just pray that Kaylee gets the help she needs and can get through it, through her parole, and do what the court says. So that's on the news this week. So let's get to Madeline's story. I don't know if you've heard Madeline's story. This one, for a forensic astrologer, is really it's frustrating because, and I'll get to it as we go along. I never have gotten a really good timestamp on this one. So on February 25th, Madeline Soto celebrated her 13th birthday with family up in Orlando, Florida. She was from Kissimmee, Florida, which is due south of Orlando. Her mother was working. Her mother worked at Disney World. She was working. Her mother's boyfriend, then it was partner, then it was Maddie's stepfather. We think We're not for sure. Law enforcement has not told us if he took Maddie to the party or not. There is a last video of Maddie celebrating her party. So on February 26, 2024, Maddie was reported missing by her mother at 8 p.m. in the evening on a Monday. So what had happened, let's get into the story a little bit more. So this is what we know so far about Madeline's case. Okay, now there's a picture of Madeline Soto. This was at her 13th birthday party that she celebrated up in Orlando. And I agree with Renee 100%. Know who you bring around your children 100%. Run a oh, hi Tammy, run a report on them. I hate to say that, but I would do it. So there's a picture of beautiful Maddie. There she is. Beautiful little Maddie Soto. Hello, Miss Michelle. How are you this evening? So there she is. Now, this is just a little map. As you can see, up at the top is Kissimmee. You follow the purple arrow down by Alligator Lake off to the eastern part of the lake. That's where Madeline was eventually found. Okay, that gives us, and this is the middle school. So the story goes that the stepfather slash partner slash boyfriend slash, now we found out, we think broken up with the boyfriend man, stated that he took Madeline to school in the morning. The mother stated at 8 a.m. she watched Madeline get dressed for school. Stepfather slash partner slash friend stated he dropped Madeline off at the church right before the middle school because she was embarrassed because of his car. He watched Madeline walk towards the church, or from the church, not the church. Yes, from the church toward the middle school. Okay, now, this was the missing poster that came out because when Madeline's mother went to school at 4:30 that afternoon, no Madeline, couldn't find her. So Madeline's mother went to the grandmother's business, her mother's business, which was right down the street, thinking, well, Maddie went there. It was like a juice bar. Well, Maddie went to grandma's after school, not there. She came back to the school. The school was locked up. She texted Madeline's teacher. And at 6 p.m., the mother stated that she got a robocall stating that Madeline was not in school that day. Okay, so there's red flag number one, issue to work on to fix. Get those robocalls out early. Now, what's interesting is the police, and then we've got, this is before the partner slash boyfriend was subsequently arrested. This is the condo that Maddie lived in with her mother and the monster. But we don't know if we're not sure if they had broken up. There are rumors that they had broken up for a couple of months prior to this, but he had missed Maddie. So he had been, back in her life. Now, as the disappearance of Maddie went on, that is her mother giving interviews. There he is in the background. He was popping his knuckles. This is when the mother stated to the media, she said, we took her to school. We dropped her off. Well, now, wait a minute, mother. You stated to the police that you saw her at 8 a.m. and that your partner took her to school. So now we're getting a lot of mixed messages from mom. Now, that could be nerves. That could be my child is missing. Who knows what you put yourself in her shoes? Who knows? Give her the benefit of the doubt. However, the story seemed to change throughout the week. But, you still give the mother the benefit of the doubt. So they turned in their phones to the police. And what Stephen, the monster, stated was that he accidentally factory reset his phone by accident. Now, I've tried to factory reset my phone. I can't figure it out. I've tried to do it before. But he stated that he had done it by accident. Well, when you factory reset your phone, that means your items don't go away. They go into something called a cloud. So police accessed pictures and videos and found some extremely disturbing videos. Now, in the warrant, all of the name of the victim was redacted, but it was pretty obvious that he was arrested for battery, sex battery, and CP, and that the victim, this had occurred at the home. So put 2 and 2 together who the victim was. They identified, they had horrific descriptions on this warrant. It was horrific of the things that they had uncovered. So he was charged with battery, sex battery, and it went back as far as when the victim was 11. Now remember, Maddie was 13. So this had been ongoing for years. The pictures that they have, Maddie, or he and Maddie's mother were together for approximately 7 years. So the information that they have goes back 2 years. God only knows how long this has been going on with this child. So what makes this story even more interesting is he gets arrested. A couple days later, there is a huge CP ring bust that occurs down in St. Cloud, right where they found, close to where they found Maddie's body, a big CP ring of 250 arrests of a CP ring. So nobody knows is this coincidence or was it things that were accessed on his phone? The law enforcement stated that the CP ring had been under investigation for a while. The man's name was Santa, and his son unalived himself before the police could get there and serve the warrant on the son. So this is going on in the middle of all of this. So that occurred. So big CP sting. There he is as they arrest him. Now, he has no record. He is not a CP, and he has no record whatsoever. So the police put out his car, the silver vehicle, and everybody to check your ring cameras, check this, check that. So people were sending in tips. So the search continued for Maddie. And what happened is the search took them down to a place called St. Cloud, Florida, which is approximately 15 miles south of Kissimmee, right at the edge of Alligator Lake, because right after a press conference, a tipster called in and said, I saw that guy changing a flat tire. They also had video footage. No, they didn't. But I believe they had video footage. I'm not sure, of him in this area about 1:30 or 2 in the afternoon. Plus, eyewitnesses saw him changing a flat tire in this area. So 4:30 on Friday, they recovered Maddie and they found her. So the police have gone on to tell us, and let me go back a little bit, that what they have now on camera, the police. Now follow me with this because it matches up with the charting. Because by now you're going to think, well, I know if she's got a timestamp, I know if she's got a date, it's going to take us right where Maddie was. It doesn't. It does not. So I have messed with this and looked at it because you know as well as I do, if we get a timestamp on a chart, on an event chart, it's going to take us right to where she was. But I don't have a good timestamp. Here are my timestamps. And this is complete speculation on my part. We don't know. Now, the mother has also changed her story, stating that she spoke to Maddie Sunday night. Now her story has changed again. Oh, she talked about her presence. She was excited. So did she see her on Monday morning or did she talk to her on Sunday night? No one knows. So the police have released that at 7:31, they saw him putting her backpack and her school-issued laptop in the dumpster at the condo at 7:31. He drove north to Maddie's school. Okay. He was seen leaving the school area and heading north. Okay. That was at 7:31. He's up around the school area, which he claimed that he had dropped her off at the church, which the police knew he had not. And he drove north. There's no other real evidence of him or camera evidence that we're aware of right now that show how far north he went. They do have him coming back south at 8:10. So here's our window time, 7:30 to 8:10, heading north, but was due south at 8:10. At 8:30, he came back to the condo. The police stated Maddie was in the car, but they saw her on video and she had already passed away by then. So that tells me, this is just my speculation, something happened on Sunday night because I used two timestamps. I used the 7:30 and I used the 8:19. 7:30 is when he ditched her backpack and laptop in the dumpster at the condo. And 8:19, he returned back with Maddie in the car. She was already deceased. And I used the 8:19. My thought process is, and I'm only going this off of speculation because of the astrology, that something happened to her on Sunday evening. He put her somewhere, came up with the story of the backpack and ditched the backpack, the laptop, went somewhere, picked her up and brought her back. I'm only going by that because of the charts, and I'm going to show you the charts and the mapping. Because if I use a time of around 5 a.m., the chart goes directly to where they found Maddie. So I'm thinking, and the police also stated that in the early morning hours, they felt he moved her. So it's almost like, wait a minute. Yes, the mother has stated that she saw Maddie at 8 a.m. getting dressed for school. The mother also stated that she talked, and this is on her interview with the media, that the last she spoke of her, she talked about the party. It was Sunday night. She talked about her gifts. She was happy. She was a happy child, blah, 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 blah. So mom has switched her story twice, more than that. So now, what even makes the plot even thicker with this, no charges have been filed for this child's death. So it's still tight-lipped, under investigation. Mother, at first, mother was not a suspect. Now, when the police are asked if there are any other suspects, they are saying no comment. I don't know. We're going to have to wait and see how this unfolds. But I want to show you the party chart. I did a party chart, and you can see where it's starting. It lines up. At the party, something occurred, according to the astrology. And I'm going to show you the map on how close it is to where Maddie was. But when I take the time back to about, I'm going to say 4:30 a.m., we went right to the spot where Maddie would have been found. So, and also my question, and this is my speculation completely, the films that they recovered, some of the descriptions on the films, and I'm certainly not a cinematographer, but I can't even take a selfie. Did somebody film what was happening to that child? I don't know. I don't know. Was this ring involved? I don't know. We don't know. So this is one of those cases where we're just going to have patience and wait. We've lost a beautiful young lady, and it's just heartbreaking. It's just heartbreaking. And, did the child, was she afraid? Did she not tell anybody? We just don't know. So it's just very sad case, sad situation. So let's look at the astrology. Okay, this is the astrology of the 7:30. I'm going to make it bigger for you guys. At the 7:30 a.m. chart, okay? This is when he dumped the bag. So by now you can see Maddie she's going to be, oh my bad. This is the 8:19. I'm sorry. This is the one when he came back. Okay, let me pull out that chart. This is the one when he came back, okay? So Maddie is represented by the sun because Aries is rising. She's also represented by the moon as is the victim. It's always the moon and the rising. By now you can see in the 12th house, Maddie is hidden. So at 8:19, this is when they videotaped her in the car. But as you can see, Neptune is right there. What is Neptune? Neptune is cameras. It's videos. The car, Mercury, she's in the car. Saturn represents, what does Saturn represent? The body. Her body is in the car being filmed in the 12th house, but it's still hidden. Nobody knows what's going on. And the perp is represented up as Venus, okay? Because Libra. Usually, whenever we see something, and this is the astrology, with Gemini or Libra, it's two people. Now, could that be another witness? But normally it's two people know something. So we've got the perp up there. We've got Maddie hidden. We've got Algol, which is the demon star. It never fails. Head to throat trauma. We don't know we don't know anything from the coroner yet. Jupiter can be represented by a church or a school. So school. So at 8:19, the chart is really telling us basically what is going on. She's in the car. She's hidden. It's being filmed. It was a very sudden because of Uranus right there. She's opposing him. So there was something came up. Okay. Something came up between her and this. I don't even want to say his name. Something happened. Was it a fight? Was it an argument? Was it, I turned 13 and I'm not going to do, we don't know. We just don't know what occurred, what triggered or what happened. I'm sure we'll find out at the trial or find out. Now, as you can see, there is the blue dot is where they lived. And the other dot down by Alligator Lake is where they found Maddie. Okay. So I charted it. Now, if you can see what's interesting about this, the 7:30 a.m. are the blue lines. The 8 o'clock are the yellow lines, the 8:19. Look at the north. Look at all that activity going north on that chart. My guess, according to the chart, according to the astrology, at 7:30, he went somewhere and picked her up. And if we find that out, I'll bet it's in all those 3 lines that are going northwest. The top 3. That's just an educated guess, but I don't know. So see, it always doesn't show. I mean, every week I show you where a line will go directly to where the person was. And this time it did not, because this is why it's so important for us to have timestamps. When was she last seen at the party? Was she seen Sunday night, and at what time? We don't know. We just don't have that information, and they're keeping it very tight-lipped. Now, as you can see, look at the yellow lines. Those the blue lines didn't change on some of the outer planets, but of course, the moon, the ascendant, and the descendant, because that's the perp, the victim, and the victim again, they move very quickly. Those things move quickly on an event chart. So within an hour, those lines have moved, the yellow line. Now, like I said, when I did mess with it a little bit, kind of, it's 126 degrees, goes from her house to where they recovered her. That would have been around 4 o'clock in the morning. So we're going to find out. Keep your eyes open for this one, because at 4 o'clock, 4:30, 4 o'clock in the morning, I think is when he went and got her. What he did up north, I don't know. So see, I'm still kind of trying to figure out what happened to her via the charts, via the astrology, because we don't know. Now this is what's so interesting. I wanted to show you guys this. This is the actual, I did this at like 7:30 p.m. on Sunday night, the night of the party. As far as we know, the party was in Orlando. This is definitely the party chart. How do I know that? The 5th house, where you see the 3 little clump and the planet looks like a P, count over 5 houses. That's Pluto, Mars, and Venus. Okay. What is the 5th house in astrology? Parties, social. That's like golf courses, baseball fields, Disney World. That's what we enjoy. That's what we like to do. That's the party. Okay. Maddie is represented by the moon. So as you can see, the perp is represented by Neptune. Look directly across, opposing the moon. Neptune. So something occurred at this party. Uranus, it was a trigger. It was the blow up. It was the blow up. Something occurred. If you always know, when we look at the malefic 22 degree, go around that chart, 22 or 18, the AC, the IC, the DC are all at 22 degrees. That is the kill or be killed degree. This was all in the works, according to the astrology, at the party. Somebody isn't telling us something that occurred at the party, or If you look at Mercury and the sun together again, that's the sun represents an older man in the car. So, and it's blown up. It's so blown up out of proportion because Jupiter is attached to it. Something occurred and all hell broke loose. That's exactly what this chart is saying. And this was at 7:30 on Sunday night. So we're going to watch this one. I wanted to show you guys this because every week, I know I show y'all the charts and the mapping where the mapping never fails. It goes right to where the person is located. This one did not. Why? Because I don't have an accurate time stamp. So even let's say they didn't find her, I wouldn't have a good idea of where she was. Even and this goes to show you playing with 2 different charts, 3 charts. I think I played with 4. You could be down the rabbit hole playing with 5 or 6 charts, and you can't give that map to search and rescue people because you're not sure. Now, unless you're 100% positive that that chart matches to that map, I will give like a chart to Michael. But unless it doesn't match and it's not exact, or I don't have it on camera, or I won't do it because you can't send people chase on wild goose chases because you're not positive. I mean, can you imagine giving a search and rescue that? Where would they go? They would be all over. They would be take a week, 2 weeks to go to all those places. So you have to be sure. That's why the timestamps are so important. But I think this is very important. And like I said, law enforcement, they're very tight-lipped. I think until we get the arrest warrant that's going to come out with the affidavit, we're not going to know anything because, there's still, he's going to get charged. We know he is, but it's all the evidence that goes with it. And, was that ring involved? What, and nobody's talking about this party. The video of her at the party, she was happy. Who took her to the party? Did he take her? What happened on the way home? Did anybody at the condo place see her going into the condo that evening? Those are my questions. And nobody's answering that. Nobody seems to have answered that. So it's very, very sad. I hope you guys enjoyed this because when I was putting this together, it's actually a little bit different than what we look at, every week, because every week we usually know where to look or we have a good timestamp. But this is what occurs. And that's why we have to stress. I can't go by, well, it was around 8 o'clock. No. That's one bad thing. The astrology doesn't work like that. You can't go with 8 o'clock. You have to have that exact time or within a couple of minutes of that exact time, whether it's on a camera or a cell phone or a text message, or like the mother was looking down at her phone to see when she last talked to her via text. And I was like, oh, show me the phone. I need a timestamp. But, we'll get it eventually. We will get it eventually. So that is Madeline's story. It was very, very sad. She was missing for 5 days as this was unfolding and arrests were made. And it was just a very heart-wrenching story for this young girl. Do the police not always release times while they are gathering evidence? They aren't this time. They are not this time. They are tight-lipped. We had the warrant where he was arrested, what was found on her phone. They told us that at 7:31, he ditched the laptop. At 8:10, they caught him on camera coming back south. And at 8:19, he made it back to the condo. And that's when Maddie was deceased in the car at 8:19. So from 8:19 till 1:30 or 2, he took her to that spot at Alligator Lake. And then he got a flat tire. So had he not gotten a flat tire, who knows? But, I think the police are really good down there, and I think they would have eventually caught him, just like they caught, Audrey's. And once again, we see when the police move quickly and they do get people involved. A tipster gave them this tip. Um, but now they're being tight-lipped. So we don't know what's going on. So we'll keep an eye on it. We'll watch it like we watch all of our true crime. And so if you happen to see and you're watching any of the true crime series and you see what, that there's a time for little Maddie, send it to me. I'm still waiting on a time for baby Elijah. That one again, there's a video of little Elijah. They've released more information. I've got some text messages on him where the police released the whole. Actually, the police did not. The court did, because she was up for the mother was up for a bail hearing. So the text chain was on there. So I've got text messages for little Elijah, and we'll work on that one. And then we've got next week, we've got little Sebastian, who is missing in Tennessee. He was an autistic young boy. And we've got the family again. I believe another stepfather and mother are searching for him. And they have been searching in Kentucky in landfills for this little boy. He's 15 years old. So we're going to look at Sebastian next week. I know my friend Rue has mapped that one, and she's waiting for a timestamp as well for little Sebastian. So we'll see about Rue's map and see if my map matches with Rue's and get her information on that one, because we all work together on a lot of our cases. So that is the case for this week, you guys. Don't forget R.I.F.T Nation Network on Sunday, Howie and Rhonda with the Orion Effect at 7 p.m. Great guests, great show, wonderful entertainment every Sunday evening. What else do you have to do on a Sunday evening at 7 but listen to them? It's a perfect time after dinner to sit down and get a great show. Then, of course, Monday evening, True Crime Monday evening, 7. Otter's Den at 8 every other week. And then we've got Miss Sue's at 8 p.m. on Tuesday for her readings and spirituality and all good things spiritual. And then on Friday night, Sue's and Marcy, Beacon of Light. So that's it for this evening, you guys. And don't forget to join up Miss Linda Nelson and her group, A Place of Solace, for my folks that have lost people. Right, Linda? Lost people this year to any type of a death, or if you have a missing person or anything, please, A Place of Solace. That is her safe place. So families, please go check out Linda's group. It's a wonderful group. And also I want to show you guys, there's a website. I'm so proud of this website. Astrology Meets True Crime. I'm going to start to put some of the cases on the website so that if y'all miss it, I can put notes, and then you can follow along on some of our true crime cases as we go along. So I'll put that up there. Go ahead and go on there, and you can sign up to get emails. So like if I find out stuff on cases, like subscribe, that's what you do. And here we go with Miss Linda. Check out her page on Facebook. Yes, thank A Place of Solace, to talk about their loved ones. Yeah, absolutely talk about their loved ones. I'm sorry about this light. I'm like blasting everybody out, but oh well, I couldn't mess with the light because of the time change, and it was still dusk out. So you guys have a great week. Keep me posted if you see any type of any information on there with Maddie Soto and a new time stamp. Please let me know. So have a great week. just ride out this eclipse season. This is a very tough eclipse season, you guys. It is a very, very tough one. It's a little rocky. So fasten your seatbelts this week. Check out my Facebook page, Joni Templeton Skinner, because every day I put up the energy, and especially during eclipse season, just check out my Facebook page. I do it in the morning before I go to work, and it'll help you get through eclipse season just to know what kind of energy is out there. Right now, we are running on energy that is not clear. Neptune, and we talk about Neptune. Neptune is very, very cloudy right now. So when Neptune is cloudy, we're cloudy. We're completely cloudy. So when Neptune is cloudy, if you think someone is making something up, you're mad or upset, write it out before you confront them, because you're not getting the full answer. Let this ride out this week, just about to midweek, and then we'll get through this week. So with that, you guys have a great, wonderful, have a great week. And let's just hope that the true crime thing is kind of calmed down a bit, because bam, bam, bam. Next week we'll have little Sebastian, and I'll update us on Elijah. And be kind and hang in there with these eclipses. So thanks for tuning in, everybody. Have a great week, and I will see you guys next Monday. Take care. Bye-bye.